welcome to our second sprint of our Excel Masterclass, and we are going to look at if function still. And in this if function, we want to look at the employee status, whether it's active or inactive, look at which country they are in, and then apply salary increment. So that one, we are going to use it. You cannot only use one if the way we did in sprint one. So you have to use two or more ifs. So that's what we want to write now today in our column J. And just before we start, we want to have our countries. So we have got these countries here. So we have got Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, Kenya. So I will remove Burundi from this just to make it easier for us for this class. So if you're in Uganda, you will get 8% increment. In Tanzania, will be 7%. Rwanda, it will be 10% increment. And in Kenya, will be 5% increment. So now we want to apply this, and the employee status must be active. Yeah. So that's what you want to do now in our column J. So salary increment. So in this case, we want to just see the increment alone, meaning the 8% of the salary, how much will it be? The employee must be active for you to get the increment. So we want to say is equals to if the C3, that's where we can either have the status active or inactive. So if, so we have to start and say if in bracket. So our logical test is that if C3 is equals to, we want to write there active, comma, then the value, if it is true, what should happen? So meaning if it is true that the person is active, then there are other 4 other options. Yeah. So if it is true that the person is active, then we look at now the country becomes the second. So we now give another if, because if it is true, then we have other 4 options that you can be in Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, or Kenya. So if it is true that you are active, then another second if. So if F3, where we have the country, so if the country is equals to Uganda, so we'll do that and write Uganda. Remember to always have double quotation marks. So if F3 is equals to Uganda, then what do? We take the salary times 8% so that you can get the increment. If it is false, meaning it is not Uganda, then it is Tanzania, Rwanda, or Kenya. Yeah. So if it is false again, meaning it's not Uganda, but it's still active, so it's not Uganda. So it can be. If it is false, then you do another if, meaning we are going to have the same country code if it is equals to Tanzania. Yeah. So if it is Tanzania, then what do? Take the salary, take what we have in the salary times, what do we have there? We have there 7%. So that is the logical test that you're still having for Tanzania. So we have another if. So again, if the value is false, meaning it is not Uganda, it is not Uganda, not Tanzania, then the same country code. So again, we'll do another if. So if Uganda, if F3, there again you go to F3 is equals to now Rwanda. Then what should we do? We take the salary here times the salary there must be times 10%. So again, if our second if is false, meaning it is not Rwanda, it can now become Kenya. So now we go to if, again, another if. So if what we have here, F3 is equals to Kenya, Then if it is true, then we take what now we have there, which is 5%. So we take the salary times 5%. So we keep on referencing the cells that will contain the figure. So you see C3 was the active, the status, and then F3 is the country, then G3 is the salary. Now, if it is false, that is not Kenya, then we just leave the space blank. So writing a blank in a formula is just double quotation mark without any space in between. Now we'll close in with the number of brackets just by defining the colors that you have in there, can actually close in. So it is false because the person here is not active, so that the return is false. We didn't define the false, but it comes automatically. So if you drag down that, we see whatever has changed in terms of salaries that have come up. So that is if nested, meaning you're writing more than one if.